And welcome everybody to the Jim Master Show live entertainment lifestyle talk show series. How's everybody doing today? It's so nice to see all your smiley faces and everybody's excited. It's another great episode of our series where we're bringing light, love, levity, and our famous levity to bear, a word that I just happened to accidentally say last summer when I said it a little too fast, light, love, and levity. And that's what we're all about. This is an entertainment lifestyle talk show series that sort of plays off of my work in television and radio, and sort of harkens back, if you're joining us for the first time, our regular viewers, our faithful lovities as we call them, and they call themselves, which we love. This sort of connects to my work in the broadcast industry, but also it harkens back to some of the traditional old school feeling of talk shows, entertainment, and variety series like Dick Cavett and Johnny Carson and Merv Griffin and Mike Douglas. Everybody says that since we launched this entertainment lifestyle talk show series, we've been bringing back the true lost art of conversation. And that is so amazing. Our guests come in from Broadway and Hollywood, television, film, music, stage, culinary arts, comedy, sports, inspiration, science and nature, health and wellness, and really all of life. And everybody's welcome to join us. We are here nightly. Matter of fact, today we had two shows. We had a guest come in from Ireland, an Irish singer-songwriter, and that was a blast. And again, we do it all right here on our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. So we invite you to like our series and our channel, which is Jim Masters TV, and the show is the Jim Masters Show Live. And also leave a comment for us on the YouTube channel if you enjoy this episode or any of our, I can't believe I'm going to say this, almost 520 episodes of this series we have done. That's a lot of talking. That's a lot of levity. That's a lot of interaction with all of you and our amazing guests as well. So leave a comment for us. We appreciate that. And share this episode and all the episodes you like if you enjoy it. We work hard to put these shows together for all of you. We greet everybody who's watching from all around the world. Again, our audience, they call themselves the Levity Squad. We love that. They sort of dubbed me Mr. Levity because I said that word a year ago. And this is Levity Hall. Our guests are part of the Levity family. I think it's really cool that sort of formed from this entertainment lifestyle talk show series. So welcome everybody. It's so nice to have you here. We appreciate you guys being here. We've got an amazing guest who is joining us, a familiar face to many from the worlds of television and film, even TV commercials. He's very excited, as are we, because he is in a new film that just came out, A Case of Blue. He stars in that. And we're talking about soap opera icon. He's going to go, what, Jim? Icon? Well, that's what everybody says. And it's true. You know Stephen Schnetzer, of course, from so many incredible roles. Cass Winthrop, Another World. Of course, As the World Turns, Guiding Light, Days of Our Lives, and so much more. But it is Cass Winthrop that stands out, I think, for many because he was on that show, Another World, for a long time. And I tell you, he's a class act. Matter of fact, he's celebrating something special today. And I really am honored that he's coming on our show today, considering it's something special in his life. We'll tell you about that a little bit later. But of course, you remember him. There he is with Felicia Gallant, or of course, Linda Dano. And remember Cass and Frankie, of course. There he is, dapper as Cass Winthrop. We could go on with all of the incredible coverage, soap opera updates, soap opera digests on the covers. Many of you, again, learned about him maybe from that series first, but of course, Days of Our Lives as well, and so much more. Oh, yeah, with Kathleen and the entire cast from Another World. Isn't that a great photo from some of your favorites that are there as well? Stephen was even on The Love Boat. Yes, he made it on The Love Boat as well with Sid Charisse. A phenomenal episode and so much more. Again, these are just some of the incredible things that he has done. Of course, you know him from, he was in The Blacklist and Law and Order and just on and on and on. But this movie here, I got a chance to screen it. It is absolutely incredible. And these photos, we'll talk about them as we go along here. But this will really touch your heart and soul. If you're looking for a movie that really touches your heart and soul, gang, you've got one right here. And Stephen and the rest of the cast totally knock it out of the park. It's called A Case of Blue. And literally, it just came out. We're so excited about this, and we're so honored to have him on the show. Of course, veteran actor whose work encompasses decades in television and on stage, most well known, again, for his iconic roles on 4 daytime soap operas: Days of Our Lives, As the World Turns, Another World, Guiding Light. New York City-based actor who's also enjoyed much stage work. He starred in many of wonderful productions. Currently stars in, again, A Case of Blue, which is a feature film shot in New Jersey and New York City, in which he plays a retiree looking for love. Now, Linda Dano, of course, who you know played Felicia Gallant for years on Another World, another icon, and his best friend, calls it the best work he has ever done. Stephen truly shines in this role. That coming from Linda. Of course, you know from Broadway, he was in Oslo, The Goat, or Who is Sylvia, A Talent for Murder. Off-Broadway, a plethora of productions: Mankind, Next Fall, Julie, Romeo and Juliet, Unfaithfully Yours, The Tempest. Of course, films, Brooklyn Lobster, and so much more. Television, Blue Bloods, Billions, The Blacklist, Flesh and Bone, Forever, Homeland, Damages, The Good Wife, The Wire, Fringe, Law and Order, and lots more. We are so excited because this film also has Annapurna Sriram, who also was in Billions and other great shows. And this is a wonderful, compelling romantic drama, again, shot in iconic locations. And you're going to love this. Tracy Shane is in it as well, who you know from Homeland and Blind Spot, of course, plays his wife. And Ken Maltin from The Equalizer 2 and The Vault plays his best buddy. And produced by Dane Grant Production and 1091 Media. It really is a phenomenal production. Again, I just want to show you some of these. And we'll talk about these with Stephen when he jumps on in just a second. But again, going back to, I know you love that shot, the Another World cast, gang. Look at all these comments. We've got a ton of comments coming in here. You know what? I've followed his career for a long time, you know, working in these industries as I do. He is a class act. He's picked projects that really speak to his heart and soul. That's why people love Stephen. He picks work that really moves people and draws people in and gets them to think and experience life in a heartfelt way. And of course, we left about some crazy scenes he had with Cecile on Another World. We were hoping Cecile wasn't watching tonight because she might capture him while we're live, and she can't do that until he's wrapped up with our conversation. We don't call these interviews, we call these conversations. But if you guys watch Another World, you know who I'm talking about. But again, this movie is riveting. It's thought-provoking. It's inspiring. Isn't that a great shot of him? It is heartfelt, and it's beautifully cast, produced, written, acted. And we are so honored to have, again, one of the stars joining us here. Now, you would think live and direct, maybe from Bay City or from maybe even New York City, where he usually is. He is actually joining us from South Florida, and we're very excited. He's experiencing a very special night tonight, and we'll tell you about that in just a second. Let's welcome Stephen from South Florida right now on the Jim Master Show Live. Stephen, welcome, my friend. It's an honor and a pleasure to have you here.
Jim, the honor is all mine after that introduction. My God.
Well, first, I want to say, before we even get into the movie and your illustrious career and so much more, happy anniversary to you and your lovely wife, Autumn. Gang, it's their anniversary, and he is here. And his wife gave him the free privilege to say, do it, go on with Jim. And I appreciate that. Happy anniversary to you both. That is really beautiful to you guys.
Thank you, Jim.
That's really, really wonderful. And I hope the rest of your evening is magical. Thanks for joining us, my friend. How have you been doing? Obviously, this amazing movie is spectacular. I got a chance to see the screener. So excited for all of you because I know you've poured your hearts and souls in it. But before even the movie, back when sort of everything shut down in March of 2020, you were in the midst of a lot of different projects and different things. Tell us about that, some of the work that you were doing and what you have done since, including this movie. And congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, I was going from one play to another after coming out of summer of 2019 when we did A Case of Blue in a very compressed time frame. And that fall, late fall, I had the opportunity to go to the Huntington Theater in Boston, my hometown.
Yeah,
And it's always a thrill to go back to your, where you come from and
that's
have
it.
relatives able to come in and see the play and all that sort of thing. So I was doing a play at the Huntington. It was my second play there with this director, Amelia Ben-Susan. And when that closed, I went right into immediately an off-Broadway play at 59 East 59. And it was called Mr. Toole. And it was based on the life of John Kennedy Toole, in which I played his father. And we mounted a production there, and we were going to close on a Sunday. And the previous Thursday, I went into work in March, and assuming we'd be doing a performance that night. And the managers of the theater said, "That's it, no more play. Pack up your stuff. We're shut down because of COVID."
Oh, boy.
And I've had over a year and a half, just like everybody else has since then. So.
Yeah. So it's, have there been any, I'm sure there have been several teachable moments for you. It's been a time also to, and a lot of people are wishing you and Autumn happy anniversary. These are all the lovities that are watching from literally all around the world. Happy
Thank you all very
anniversary.
much for your good wishes.
Dwight's been a fan of yours for years. Deidre's here. Lisa Rodrigo. Toby is here from California. Kathleen from New York City. All these great folks. It's been a real time of reflection too. And a lot of people are reflecting on their lives and the things that they've done thus far and the things that they want to do sort of next chapter. You've done so much in your life and you've inspired so many people through your work and your art and your talent. What were some of the teachable moments for you during the last year and a half, almost 2 years, Stephen?
Well, having to be patient, having to consider something with life or death, global consequences. It was a time for a lot of consideration and contemplation. So you try to make the most of it. You try to cultivate your sense of patience. I've never been a particularly patient person, but this was a time to practice that, a time to stay close with friends, find new ways to stay close with friends and loved ones. So it's been a provocative time, and it still is.
Yeah,
We're going through a game changer.
we are.
My industry will never be the same. I don't know if I'll ever be in a casting room in 3D with a casting director again.
Right.
We're auditioning by self-tape.
Self-tape now, yeah.
And submitting that, and I just ordered I'm doing a short film called Lorena in the third week in November, and I just had to order my PCR COVID test and make arrangements to travel there, and I'll have to bring my Moderna vaccine card with me and that sort of thing. So
right. It's a whole new way of doing it, exactly. But we'll get through it together. That's what it's all about, right? Getting
Right.
through it all together as one. This movie, and I know folks want to talk a little bit about some of the other work as well. And we'll get to that, of course. The movie is really spectacular. When it was first brought to your attention and you were asked to be a part of Case of Blue, what was your first impression? And it must have been like, wow, this is something I can really sink my teeth in. I love this script. I love this whole thought, this concept? Tell us about that.
When I was on the soap opera, Another World, I was one of the go-to guys that was called upon to carry the show for stretches of storyline. And then I'd go in the back burner and somebody else who was a main player would carry the ball for a while and I would support. And I always enjoyed that job description, having to carry it. It's another reason why I've done 3 productions, not only the Broadway production, but the Arena Stage production and the Lyric Stage in Boston production of Edward Albee's The Goat or Hoovia. And that character goes through everything, and he's on stage from start to finish. And I always loved the challenge of that responsibility. So I read this script, thought, this is something that I can really sink my teeth into. This is something that challenges me. It speaks to where I am or am approaching in my own life.
Yeah.
I like the guy. I like the challenge.
Yeah.
I like the journey.
Yeah. And it's
so I agreed to
not,
audition for Dana Glazer.
For Dana, yeah. And it's not a storyline that's often really brought to bear and to light and talked about as well, right? I think it's I think a lot of people, because it's out now, people, let people know how they can, access it. But it's really, it's got a message to it as well that is so vitally important, right?
I think so. There are so many like myself, and we're hitting up against some pretty profound questions and issues. This movie is about loss.
Yeah.
It's about losing your career. At the beginning, I'm not giving anything away right away. It's about me closing up my office and retiring. And then it's about other forms of loss and grieving and getting laid low by your grieving process, but then finding some way to bounce back. So we almost all do it. Some people have more trouble with that process than others, but it's a real common theme. And so I think it's really universal.
This was filmed in some really rather iconic locations too, in the New York, New Jersey area. Tell us about that, what the filming process was like in some of those great spots.
Well, I wish the director were here, because a lot of this was derivative. It's A Case of Blue. The title is derivative. The locations appeared in some of his favorite films, Café Wa, Washington Square, that sort of thing. So on a less overt level, Dana wanted to pay homage to some of his favorite films, some of his memorable film experiences as a young viewer. So yeah, we're all around New York City and suburban New Jersey and the Student Art League and all that sort of thing.
We actually have a little bit of a clip here. We've got the trailer that we're going to show right now, and the trailer alone is quite riveting. Let's take a look at that, Stephen, and then we'll come back and we'll chat some more, okay?
Sounds good.
Here it is.
We've actually been talking and wanted to share this with you. It's 10 minutes from here, and there'd be no more worrying about the snow and the upkeep of the house and all the space that you don't need.
Grandpa?
Dad, I know this is a tough transition, but you gotta talk to me.
I am talking. What else do you want me to say?
Stop pretending to be this Rock of Gibraltar.
Surprise! Oh my God! Give me a heart attack.
Happy retirement, sweetheart.
What is it, Richard?
It's a gift card for life drawing classes. Dad used to draw before he went to business school. We thought it was time for you to rekindle an old passion.
How could it be her? I don't know, but the drawing was of her.
What were you rummaging around up there for?
It's amazing. I just feel like I'm in some sort of a strange time warp.
I could love her. I could love her again. I could love her.
Come here.
I could
Come on.
love her
Come on,
again. I could love.
Wake up, Grandpa.
Girlfriend keeping you out late again.
I could love her. I could love her again.
I tell you, just in seeing that little bit, Stephen, it really draws you in. What was it like? I'm sure there were moments too where you're connecting with this character on so many different levels that it can run deep for you. And were there elements of yourself that you saw in the character? I mean, every actor and actress brings elements of themselves into characters generally, but were you connecting on really deep levels with this particular character?
I try to do that with every character I play now. As I age as an actor, I, of course, I'm not self-flattering by saying I'm deeper. You get deeper as you get deep into your life. So I always look for those really deep connective tissues to work with whenever I'm playing any kind of role right now. But yes, this one in particular, sometimes I'm doing guest star spots on Homeland where I'm just, I'm Carrie's psychiatrist and I just tell her, she needs help. There's not a lot to plumb there. They all require a certain skill, but when you have the kind of challenge of carrying a film or having a major part, then you can get into a lot of subtle things and really, dig down. And this was as good an experience as an acting challenge for me as I've had.
Which is really a beautiful thing to say. What was it like working with the other stars in the other cast as well? You become like an ensemble too, don't you? Through it all?
Very most definitely. They were all wonderful to work with. Very fortunate. We were all very fortunate to have each other. Tracy Shane, and shout out to you, Tracy, if you should hear about this, and the whole cast. Annapurna Sriram was just a dream so easy to play off of.
Yeah.
And of course, Ursula Abbott played my daughter, and Tommy Beardmore played my son-in-law, and Ken Bolton played my best friend, and the sparkling Natalie Foley played my granddaughter. They were just, it was so easy to work off them. So They did half the work for me just by being there. And
how was this different for you than the years on the soap operas? Again, you've done so much more than just the soap operas, but of course people know you from the soap operas. What was it about this particular production where people, are saying, like Linda Dano, that this is some of your best work? Because you've done such incredible work, already, but they're saying that some of this is really so incredible, so deep.
I'm not sure. You might have to ask Linda Dano that. I know that the distinction between the forms is that Another World and all that was fantasy, and so I was trying to escape from Cecile as the Queen of Tankir, or I was cross-dressing in order to pay Tony the Tuna the $100,000 that I owed him. So I went out in public dressed up in Felicia's clothing, and then Tony the Tuna meets me dressed up as a woman and falls in love with me. That's all fantasy, and a lot of it is comedy. So that was the fantastical. That was pure entertainment. Sometimes we got into some very heavy stuff with the loss of dear ones, and I had for about a couple of months, I had a very intense storyline where my character was manic depressive and found that out. And that was, I loved playing that. I wanted to honor that community, people who suffer and their support group. I wanted to honor them as best we could with that storyline. But most of it was fantastical. It was lavish weddings and ridiculous love stories. And this movie is really where I'm at for the next 10 years of my life, facing retirement, facing my mortality, facing the loss of those that are near and dear to me. So it's real.
Yeah.
And the other is fantastical.
It's fantastical. Exactly. I love this shot. Tell us about this shot.
Well, Tracy Shane plays my wife in this, and it's a production shot. That's our anniversary cake that she made for us.
Yeah.
Or had made for us, and somebody took a candid between takes.
Yeah.
On set.
We've got a lot of actual beautiful shots here. This scene here, another one. Where was this one captured?
This was in a park, Central Park.
Oh yeah,
in New York City.
The park,
That's Annapurna.
Yeah, she's wonderful in this as well. You guys,
she's superb. She's really superb.
You guys really play off each other so beautifully in this.
It's a tricky thing we try to do, and I don't want to say why because it gives up too much.
Right.
You have to go for the ride of the movie.
Exactly.
But it looks like something, and it turns out not to be that thing.
There's a wonderful shot there too from it.
That's Natalie Foley.
Yeah, another beautiful.
My granddaughter.
Yeah, another. Has your family seen this movie? Yes.
Yeah. Some of them have. Some of them will now.
Yeah.
because if you go to www.acaseofblue.com, then you'll find the platforms that this is available from. So
exactly. It's a cool scene.
Very cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Tell us about this scene here.
I think I recognize somebody who's a subject in an life art class.
Yeah.
When I go back and take those courses post retirement, and I see her, and she disappears on me, and I try to find out where she is, and I find out that she's going to be at Cafe Wa on this night. So I show up there, and it doesn't go well.
Yeah.
The woman of mystery gets freaked out, and so it doesn't go according to plan.
It doesn't go.
I don't even know what I'm going to say to her, but she looks very familiar to me. Leave it at that.
That's a good teaser there. That's a great shot as well. And
yeah, that's a rooftop
this one
on
here.
Park Avenue, right near the MetLife building, just east of the MetLife building. There's a building that had a nice rooftop for a good evening shoot.
Here's another great one too. I love this shot, you guys.
Yeah, that's those are stock production shots with my best friend, and we both are tennis buddies as well. We're business partners in an accounting firm. Ken's character and mine, and we play doubles tennis. And there's our trophy from yesteryear.
You were filming, at a time when New York was sort of closed a little bit, and it was a little bit quieter than usually the city that never sleeps. What was that like, filming in these areas where it wasn't maybe as much hustle and bustle as it normally would have been?
Well, it was pre-COVID, and so it was pretty bustling.
All done.
Yeah,
great.
the Cafe Wa stuff. There was another. I can't remember the name of the iconic coffee shop, but the shop also famous coffee shop, and we had trouble with garbage collection across the street.
Oh, so
in the middle of our takes and stuff like that. So it was challenging.
So it was like typical everyday city action then, huh?
Yeah. Washington Square was full of people when we when we did our scenes in Washington Square Park.
How did you, growing up in Massachusetts, Stephen, what were some of the early inspirations for you to want to go into the arts and go into acting? Was that something that was within the family, or were you the breakout early on for you as young Stephen? What inspired you?
I was the breakout for New England.
Yeah.
There are a lot of actors from Massachusetts now, or New England. Back then, I don't remember any. Maybe Kate Hepburn from Connecticut, but there were very few Massachusetts people. So it mystifies me how it was not nurture. It wasn't happening in my environment. And I went to an all boys parochial school, and I was sports centric and academic centric, but it's Mr. Chisholm's fault. Mr. Chisholm was my high school senior teacher. And you'll get a kick out of this because he said, I want you to come out for the senior class play. And I had never done anything before that. So it was a play called Charlie's Aunt. And they made, get aunt, I'm from Boston. They say aunt instead of
Aunt versus aunt, right.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Charlie's Aunt. And it was a film with Jack Benny. And it takes place in Great Britain. And I played the part of Lord Fancourt Babberley, Fanny Babs. And my two friends have girlfriends and they want to propose to them. And it's the Victorian era. And you need to do that with a chaperone. And Charlie's aunt is coming. One of the friends is Charlie. And his aunt is coming into town from Brazil. And she's delayed. And so they put me in a dress. And then the hijinks start. So that Tootsie storyline I played in Another World, that was not the first time I did that. In fact, that's what dragged me in. I remember performing that once or twice in my high school gymnasium, and it was packed, and everybody laughed and loved the play. And man, I got bit hard. And then I just, didn't know how to pursue it professionally. I just went out for college productions and played Bernardo in West Side Story, and on and on and on through college. And the last college production I was in qualified for the American College Theater Festival, and we performed it in Washington, D.C. We were one of 10 finalists in the festival from a national contest. And we did our show for three performances in New York. And a New York director, Gerald Friedman, is my first professional father. And he saw me in the play and met me afterwards and said, "What are your plans?" And I said, "I have no idea. I guess I'll do some theater at the university with some friends." And he said, "Do you want to audition for Shakespeare in the Park? I'm directing Timon of Athens for Joe Papp in Central Park this summer." And I said, sure. And I had never auditioned professionally. So I scrambled to get a speech together and drove. 4 days later, he offered me the promise of $85 a week and 3 months work.
That's big money. Yes.
I left all, I had two other choices, career choices at this crossroads. And I decided to take the riskier one and went to the Big Apple to see if I could swim in a bigger pond with the fishes.
Mm. And what was that like when you started to do that? That must have been, were you pinching yourself, opportunities coming your way?
It was heady.
Yeah.
It was heady. It was like, this is it. I'm doing what I love. It's might be a career. There's no guarantee at that early stage. I understudied one of the leads in Timon of Athens. At intermission of the fourth to last performance, he was called away, and I had to go on in the second act, playing opposite Shepard Strudwick.
Mm.
And Michael Dunn, the little person, was in it playing Apomantus. And I had to finish off the run, the last 3.5 performances. And that led to my next Broadway, my next job was a Broadway show. And it was just very fortunate, very, people saw potential because I couldn't have been very good. I was good enough, and people saw potential, I think, and helped me along. So Very fortunate.
Well, sure. I was blessed as well. Well, they saw the talent that was there and wanted to sort of foster it. And how did the soap opera world come your way then?
Well, I was out in California. I had worked at American Conservatory Theater for 4 seasons in San Francisco. It was a great training ground for me. A lot of 20 main stage productions, a lot of experience under my belt, and I went to LA after that, and I was able to get Days of Our Lives on non-contract status, playing Susan Seaforth Hayes' brother, Steve Olson.
Yeah, that's right.
And the wonderful Bill Hayes,
Mhm.
brother-in-law, and
Doug and Julie.
Doug and Julie. And so I did that for a year and a half, but I was not under contract. And Franco Zeffirelli was holding auditions for replacements of a big success in the West End, a play called Philomena, starring Joan Plowright and Frank Finlay. And they wanted to replace the rest of the British cast with American actors and take it out of town to Boston and Baltimore and then into Broadway. And so he hired me, and I gave my notice at Days of Our Lives, went back to New York, went on to Broadway in that play. Zeffirelli was then replaced by Laurence Olivier as the director. So I got 2 for the price of 1 there. And while I was doing that, Mary Jo Slater was casting One Life to Live. And she invited me in to audition. And that was my next soap opera. And I was there for a couple of years under contract, and then moved right over to another world.
So they already had you in mind. Was Cass created for you? How did the character of Cass Winthrop
Cass was
come about?
created, and I was submitted in the call. Paul Rausch was the director at that time,
That's right. Yeah.
and Paul had me come in to screen test. And I screen tested with, guess who?
Cecile?
Yes. Nancy Frangione and I she did my screen test.
Oh, and they saw that this was going to be.
And then I screen tested Linda Dano a few months later.
You did, really?
And she came up to me because we knew each other from One Life to Live. We were friends
Yeah.
already. And she said, I can't relate to this guy. I don't know who this character of Felicia Gallant is.
Yeah.
And I grabbed her by the shoulders and I shook her. And I said, Linda, you are Felicia Gallant.
You are.
Let's go out and do the screen test. And the rest is soap history.
Wow. Really, really is. What were those years like? I know a lot of people are excited about that, but what were those years like on that beloved series that lasted so many years? You had a chance to work with, Constance Ford, Douglas Watson, Victoria Wyndham, Paul Stevens, of course, Brent Collins, and you and Linda did such, I remember when Douglas Watson passed and the beautiful job Another World did on, his funeral and the memorial. Constance Ford, the same thing. But when Brent passed with playing Wallingford, and all of them passed, in real life as well, you and Linda did something really, really touching and beautiful, stepping a little bit out of character and speaking directly to the viewers. And I think that was probably one of the rare times in television history, other than maybe like a live show or a live newscast or talk show or something, where in that format, you had this opportunity to talk directly to the viewers, knowing the wonderful attachment that the viewers had to, in this particular case, Wallingford, but the attachment they had to you and to everybody in these iconic series. That was something very extra special, that opportunity that you and Linda had, huh?
You express it beautifully. It was a very special moment. I never saw it happen before or since. It may have, if it has. Linda and I went to the producer, said we'd love to do this, and credit to the producers. They said, yes, we'll provide time. And we stepped out of the fourth wall and just talked to you audience members who are our friends, who know us as well as anyone knows us. I've done 3,000 episodes of Another World. And, people are invited into Cass's home, but Cass and I are, we're synonymous in a way. When I'm laughing, it's the character, but it's Steve, So it was really special to be able to share our sense of loss with the whole community, not just in the proscenium of a show, but break that proscenium and say, you mean enough to us that we want to share this with you and include you in our circle of grief for this wonderful person.
Absolutely beautiful. And it was carried off beautifully too. And that's something that Linda and you wanted to do. You presented that to the producers and said, we really feel we've got to do something here. And they said, go for it.
Yes.
That's really, really special. That, those moments they go beyond, like you say, that wall. People remember it. They're commenting about it left and right. Oh, I remember that episode. I have it on beta. I have it on VHS, emotional episode. Cass and Felicia had great adventures. Wallingford was the best. Just saw Linda in a Hallmark movie last week.
Right.
My mom,
where she plays a soap opera executive producer.
That's right. Do you guys stay in touch? Does the other members of the cast? I know you and Linda are fast friends for years, but do you get a chance to stay in touch with the rest of the cast from Another World and from some of the other productions you've had an opportunity to be a part of over the years, Stephen?
It's challenging, but with Another World, a lot of us do. Anna Holbrook and Anna Stewart.
Yeah.
And Maggie Delgado, our wonderful costume designer, and Scott Kolishaw, our wonderful line producer, and a bunch of other people, Amy Carlson. And when Carmen Duncan was with us, may she rest in peace.
Yeah, Iris.
She would be a reason to, Carmen's in town from Australia, let's all have lunch, and we would meet for lunch.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, absolutely. What was it like as well being on the Love Boat? Sid Charisse along with you too. Not too bad there.
That is, it's so kitschy. It's just so cool. I love that. It was, Charo was on that. Stiller and Mira were on that. Craig Stevens was the former lover of Sid Charisse, and he sees Sid Charisse on the Love Boat and gets all goo-goo-eyed. And then I come up to her and he thinks I'm her young lover.
Yes.
And it turns out that I was their love child, and the World War II separated them. And so, talk about fantastical. So there you have that. So that was great fun. It was just, I had just gotten to Hollywood. And so I was happy for any work. I did that, and I did the original Fantasy Island.
That's right. Yes.
So
yes.
Those are two credits that I'm extremely proud of.
Aaron Spelling Productions, of course, was really amazing during the 70s and 80s with so much. If it wasn't Procter and Gamble, it was Aaron Spelling for sure.
Right.
So was it hard for you to, for some actors, when they are cast as a particular character that becomes so beloved, every time you walk on the street, every time you pick up the phone, every time you're anywhere, or even going for other roles, people see you as Cass. They hear the voice. Even when you and I were chatting before it live, I said, I hear Cass. Was that hard when the show came to an end? Because you were there, towards the very end as well. What was that like? And was it hard to move forward from there? Were people still seeing you as Cass?
It was all wonderful. I would see people, a lot of them knew my name by that time. I'd been playing it so long. Or it was just Cass, and when I was recognized, and we were able to commiserate and mourn together and hug to New York even. So, our fans were always welcome as far as I'm concerned. They were wonderful, supportive, enthusiastic, yes. Sometimes very enthusiastic, yes. Um, but ultimately always respectful and
Yeah.
just happy to be part of that wide family.
Yeah.
Like you have your Lovity family, you know.
A lovely family. And you're now one of them, they said,
We had
Stephen, you are.
we had our Lovity family, and
Yes.
so it was not hard. I was always touched by it, and I'll never forget the first time I was recognized was I had just gone on Days of Our Lives for a few months, and I was in a cinema in Glendale, California, and clocked my first. Hey, that's Steve Olson. You're on Days of Our Lives. Before the lights went down, so that was kind of fun.
That is cool. So again, this movie really is something extra special, and people can go to the website to check it out. And all this, it's on several platforms, right?
It is, yeah.
Which is really, really exciting. What are some other things that you're also working on, Stephen? I know you got your hands in several things that you're excited about, as well as A Case of Blue.
Well, this short film called Lorena that we hope will hit the film festival circuit will be going into filming third week of November, and then I'm just looking for the next big thing.
Yeah. When you look at particularly Another World, do you have some favorite episodes that stand out for you? I mean, yeah, it's amazing. You really, some of those fantastical, it's the perfect word, like you said, storylines had you, I mean, kidnapped. Everything happened to you. And that's just with Cecile.
We did a From Here to Eternity scene with Cecile and I in our bathing suits and our, skimpy bathing suits with the waves washing us as we rolled rolled in the surf. One of the best memories I have, the show was going off the air. We'd been in danger and picked up at the last minute for the last 5 years of the life of Another World.
Yeah.
And ironically, we just came out with our 35th anniversary coffee book edition,
Yes.
coffee table edition of Another World. And like weeks later, we were canceled. NBC did not want to be in bed with Procter & Gamble anymore. They wanted to produce their own show. And so they went with Passions. And boo!
They weren't that passionate about Passions for that as long as the 35 plus years with Another World.
But anyway, the last couple of months, the writers were racking their brains to come up with all the greatest hits. What characters can we bring back for a cameo? What stories can we echo or do a twist on? So when Wallingford was alive, there was a storyline where there was Caroline the gorilla, and
Yes,
and
that's right.
So at the end of the third to last episode, Felicia and I go to the Wallingford gorilla habitat,
Mm-hmm.
where Caroline is still alive, but we think that she's encaged. We think it's safe, and we're lowered into the habitat, and she and I reminisce about Wallingford and what a great guy he was in the times we had. And then we climb the ladder out of the habitat, and the zookeeper, unbeknownst to us, she was not encaged, and she got out and came up the ladder, and she follows my animal Musk to the outdoor wedding.
Yes.
And just before I say I do with Lisa Peluso, Lila,
Mm-hmm.
The last episode was my nuptial to Lila with the whole town at an outdoor wedding.
That's right.
Before I say I do, Carolyn the gorilla races onto the staging and whisks me away in her arms. And the townspeople start screaming after me. And so the episode continues. with them finding me finally in the town park. And I'm on top of a gazebo in Carolyn the gorilla's arms, and she's holding me very passionately.
Yes.
And they all start screaming, "Look, there he is! Look!" Ah! And I say, "Don't yell! It upsets her. She likes Broadway tunes." So the whole town starts singing Broadway show tunes to sedate for the zookeeper to extract me, and we go off into the sunset with our wedding, Lila and Cass, and that was the last episode.
And then
That
they
was
had
pretty
that.
cool.
They had that final scene with Victoria Wyndham, Rachel, going through the living room, looking at all the photos of the cast of characters that have been a part of this since the beginning and through the
Right.
years, with that Bette Midler song too playing underneath, and then it fades to black.
The wind beneath my wings.
Yeah,
Is that the one?
I forget which one it was, but it was so beautifully done. And then she goes over and she touches Mac's, photo and everybody, your photos and Sandy and everybody that's there, Constance Ford or Ada. And then she and Carla go up the stairs, and that was, and then they fade to black and they bring up Douglas Watson's photo as Mac Corey when he was toasting in one of those holiday episodes. And then, what was that like working with Douglas Watson and Constance Ford, who were pivotal in that series from almost the beginning?
Another World was known, especially with Paul Rausch and when Pete LeMay was writing, etc. It was a show, and it had New York actors, stage actors, theater actors. Doug Watson played Romeo to Catherine Cornell's Juliet, and a lot of your viewers may not know that far back. But Doug Watson was a classical actor. Was Vicky Wyndham. They all had serious acting chops, and that's why we were there. Paul had a really great eye for talent, and he brought in just theater actors, people that had more training, perhaps, than shows.
Yeah. You've done so much, and other members of the family in the business as well.
My wife
Yeah.
and I met acting together.
Yeah.
My ex-wife, the mother of my sons, was Nancy Schnetzer. She played Katrina Carr on One Life to Live. I was introduced as a love interest for her character. And our younger son, Ben, is a very successful actor. He just wrapping up the FX Blue series, Why the Last Man.
That's
Episode
right.
10 airs on this coming Monday.
We'll look for that. That's exciting.
So he's had
The Lovedies know it was, that's right, In This Life by Bette Midler. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
In this life, I was loved by you, and then it fades to black. And
Thank you, Lovedies.
yeah. Oh, Dwight's actually, what happened to Victoria Wyndham? She probably retired, right? Just many years on that
she's retired.
series. Yeah.
I think she's sculpting. I just have a son who's an actor. We both have sons that are actors.
That's
Her
right.
son is Christian Camargo, and he's on
That's
he's on that series. Is it called C? What?
CSI?
No, it's not CSI. It's a series that is on. It might be Hulu also. Oh, who played Aquaman? The actor.
Oh,
Jason.
yeah. I know who you're talking about. I can picture him.
He's the lead in the series, and Christian Camargo is one of the characters. He also played Dexter's brother on the series Dexter for a season.
That's
and he's
right.
a wonderful actor. In any event, I was visiting my son, Ben. He just had a baby 4 months ago, my first grandchild.
Congratulations.
So I got to finally, thank you. I finally got to go up to Toronto to visit about a month ago, and to meet Vera, and to see Ben and his beautiful wife, Kate. And And right in the neighborhood was Christian Camargo. I saw him in the street walking his son in a stroller. I yelled out, "Christian, my God." And so we had about a 20-minute visit. He said his mother is fine. His mother is still, sculpting. She's into her art, living up in Westchester County.
So that storyline of where she was sculpting on another world was really playing into what Rachel, of course, but Victoria Wyndham really enjoyed doing.
Exactly.
That's amazing. That's really amazing. Good stuff here. I tell you, the Lovedies are just saying they're loving hearing your stories, and they're so excited, and they're sending you lots of love. So life is good. Life is good. You've worked hard in your life, and you've really, enjoyed the run and continue to. But these blessings of the anniversary and the marriage and a grandchild, I mean, that's what life really is all about. On all these sets and all these incredible characters and all these scenes that are scripted and crafted and created, you've been able to find peace and love and joy and balance in your life, in an industry that could really be crazy and all consuming.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. What are you most proud of with this new film? And again, congratulations to you and everybody involved in A Case of Blue. What are some of the things you're most proud of with this? And we encourage folks to watch it. You're going to be it's going to really knock you on your feet. It's that moving.
More than what I'm proud of, what I strive for in anything that I do, and especially with material like this, is something you said in your beginning intro.
Yeah.
I always look to connect with people. This is a communication form. It's an art form, and art forms are communication forms. And I look to make the deepest connection with you, the audience member, that I possibly can, so that you can feel that you're not alone, that your pain is felt by the character that I plays, or your happiness is felt by the character that I play, that there is a more than surface identifying with the roles that I play. That's always been my goal. Touch an audience member as deeply as I can.
And you've done that so beautifully over the years, Stephen. Do you do a lot of voiceover work? Because I do a lot of voiceover work and I've studied voice. Your voice really, it's just very soothing and confident, but yet warm. Do you do a lot of voiceover work?
Yes.
Yeah, I would think. Yeah, there's no way you don't. What are some of those? I like to ask some of the guests from all walks of life that hop on our show. And again, I'm very honored. I've always admired your work and your class and your character. You're one of the good guys. And congratulations on all the beautiful things that are happening in your life as well. And coming on, on your anniversary as well. And happy anniversary again. What are some of those continued joys and blessings in your life, Stephen, that propel you forward to do what you do and to continue to inspire us and entertain us as beautifully as you do and have done for all these years?
Just to continue spending time with the people that I love. I have a wonderful family, very supportive. Hi, family.
Hi, family. Hi, everybody.
A number of them are watching.
They're
right
watching.
now.
They're all Lovedies now on the Jim Master Show.
Just spending more time and opening up more and more in terms of letting them know how special they are, not just to me, but in life, beautiful people they are. That's what I value most right now. I want to keep working. I have a lot of good work left in me, and so I look forward to that as well, to make those connections with audience members again.
Beautifully said, my friend. Beautifully said. And No script or teleprompter needed, straight from the heart, the best way. What would you say to, I know there's many that have been commenting and we thank them for that. And we've been showing some of the comments on the air during the show because I like to be a very interactive host. And like you say, it's a communication business for sure. What would you say to folks right now who are very excited about seeing A Case of Blue in terms of just what do you think the hope is and that people are left with? And again, I know you can probably only speak to your character, your role, but just in being a part of the ensemble and working with the producers and knowing what they put into it and what they're hoping people are left with. What are some things you hope people are left with when they see A Case of Blue?
A sense of being able to identify with what the characters go through, and that they're not alone if they're struggling, and that you can come through and out the other side of struggles.
That's beautifully said. And you know, like I was saying, the timing of this film is so perfect because we've been going through so much, you know, individually, collectively, globally, and a lot of people are experiencing a lot of different things. So this movie sort of brings it all back full circle to what are the things that are important in life. Bravo to you and everybody involved. And I just want to show you some of the levity from the viewers who are watching live around the world. Anybody that's watching new, we welcome you. I'm your host, Jim Masters. This is our entertainment lifestyle talk show series. We've been doing this since May of 2020, 500 episodes plus. Stephen, you have such a wonderful spirit. That is from Amy.
Thank you, Amy.
And Jane, who's watching in Sweden, says congratulations to you as well.
Thank you, Jane.
Kathleen is watching in New York City, and she says, enjoying this conversation. Thanks, Stephen, for being here with us. Welcome to our levity family.
Thank you,
I
Kathleen.
love that as well. And congratulations from AAJ72. Joan says, thank you, Stephen, for sharing all of your stories. And
You're welcome, Joan.
this is beautiful. Sherry Larson in Kansas. This was wonderful. Thank you, Stephen, for your great memories. Best wishes in your future endeavors.
Thank you, Sherry.
Thank you for all your incredible years on Another World and the other soaps as well. Lots of levity. Space Shark says, thank you. Great show.
Thanks, Space Shark.
And Dwight says, congratulations, Stephen. And Toby in California, very warm-hearted conversation. Thank you, Toby. Merlin in Ontario, Canada, such an interesting guest. Thanks, Stephen. Absolutely.
Thank you, Merlin.
And that's just some of the comments coming in, my friend. I hope we get a chance to, meet in person at some point, break bread. That would be fantastic. I think we're kindred spirits in a lot of different ways, just from, our conversation tonight and how you approach life and the importance of the simple things in life. And I would love that.
I would too, Jim. And this is such a departure for me to have the luxury of a long conversation like this that breathes and isn't sticking to a tight time schedule. So congratulations to you and all your success as well.
I appreciate that. And there's somebody here who's my sidekick who pops in towards the end, puts a smile on everybody's faces, Stephen, and he wants to thank you and wish you happy anniversary. George Burns is with us tonight.
Even he is a levity?
And
oh my God.
he's got his cigar and he's got his hanky. I told you, my mother is from their family, Connecticut, Massachusetts, New Englanders, and originally, and my father's side is the New York side. And this was my Aunt Lillian's. My mother's the youngest of 16. And this is her sister Lillian. And this was passed down to me. It was a collectible that came out when George turned 100.
Wow.
So she collected dolls and it got passed down to me. So we throw him on towards the end. And he said, you knocked it out of the park, kiddo. And he wishes you well. And of course, remember, he played God in the movie. So you got God on your side too, Stephen.
We all need God on our side.
That's it. Well, I This was absolutely fantastic. And I don't want to keep you because you've got a very special, evening there. Happy anniversary. And here's to many more. Congratulations on your grandchild. Congratulations on a case of Blue and all the years on the soaps and everything else you've done, even the TV commercials. And we'll look for more from you. And you are definitely, now that you got the flavor of how we do it, it's warm, conversational, and real. You're welcome back. We'll keep the porch light on for you at any time, Stephen. And I hope the show met whatever expectations you had.
It exceeded all expectations. I want to thank you. And just remind people, I don't know, should I plug the movie where
Absolutely.
You can find it? Yeah,
Yes.
if you go to www.acaseofblue.com, you'll be able to find the different platforms like Amazon Plus, whatever. I can't recall all of them.
Yeah, I'll mention them
there's a number
during
of
the
platforms there.
Yeah,
So
there's quite a few. And again, having seen the screener, we showed the trailer. It's very touching and it's so perfect for our times. Congratulations again on everything, all the joys in your life, my friend. And I hope we stay in touch. And again, as somebody who has, thank you for your kind words about my work and about my career and this show as well. Right back at you, because I've always admired the class and dignity and just the way you've conducted yourself with all of these. Even when Cecile was chasing you, you still did it with a classy way, with a nice, bow tie and the whole bit. Class act cast. Thank you, Stephen. It was a blessing. And again, happy anniversary to you in autumn.
Thank you.
Have a good night. Take care
Good
now.
night.
Bye-bye now.
Cheers.
Cheers. Stephen Schnetzer, the one and only, right here on the Jim Masters Show live. I know you guys were really excited. I as well. Very familiar with his work. A spectacular movie that has come out. We will run through some of those photos again. In case you joined us late, if you'd like to see this episode again, folks, the entire episode is archived on our YouTube channel, which is Jim Masters TV. Matter of fact, we would love it if you subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have over 500 plus episodes. Jerry Mathers, who played Leave It to Beaver, was just here a couple of nights ago. I know you guys really enjoyed that. Marion Ross from Happy Days was here. Donnie Most, Ralph Malph, Anson Williams, Kathy Garver, who played Sissy from Family Affair, and a lot of incredible musical performances and all walks of life, from celebrity friends to just people who want to share. And that's what we're all about. We say the show has a lot of love, light, love, and levity, or famous levity. And we're bringing back that lost art of conversation. So you can see more of our series right here on our YouTube channel. Again, here are just some of these are stills. They call these stills from the actual movie. And we do thank our friends at Dane Grant Productions for sharing these with us, and Doug Scheinman for sharing these exclusive photos, actually, that you're looking at here. They were very generous to send these our way so we can have them, to pepper in during the conversation this evening with Stephen. That's the pillar shot. That's a cool shot, isn't it? All of them. Again, these are stills from the actual movie. This is one of my faves. They really captured something there as well. And again, all of these are scenes in A Case of Blue, which is really, really beautifully done. And I'm going to tell you in just a minute how you can. I love this too. It's Amelia. And we'll tell you in a minute. And of course, this is from this film as well. That goes back. That was supposed to be them in '68. I don't want to give too much away, because that way there, and you can see it. There's some other shots too we didn't show during, but wanted to show you. And of course, really cool stuff. I mean, all of this is really fantastic. Great comments coming in here. Terrific show. Thanks, Jim and Stephen. You're very welcome. Lisa, thank you. Jim and Stephen, Lisa Rodrigo, we love you as well. Let's see. Deirdre says she plans to watch it. That is perfect. Merlin says, what a nice guy. You know what's nice? You got a chance to learn a little bit more. And that's what we like to do here on this series. Like I say, it's kind of like Dick Cavett, a little bit of Carson with a modern vibe, modern twist of today. You don't just see the person as just the actor. You see the person as the person. So you knew him as Cass Winthrop, you knew him as all these other characters, you've seen him on, other series, you've seen him in commercials, movies, films, stage, and now we'll see him in A Case of Blue. But now it gives you a different perspective of the heart and soul of the person that has taken on all these roles. And I think that's what's cool. So when you say, what a nice guy, absolutely. And through this conversation, you pick that vibe up, which is perfect. Kathleen in New York City says, great show. Thanks, Jim. Thank you, Kathleen. I know you were very excited to be here with us, as you always are. Now that you're New York Mets, she works for the New York Mets. And Kathleen and I were on the Rachel Ray show together, actually. We got to get back into the city. Well, you're in New York, but we've got to get back in and get, going with some of that again. Linda in Florida says, thank you, Stephen, for sharing your life and career with all of us. Beautifully said, Linda. And Deidre says, I appreciate that you, Jim, were so well informed about Stephen's career and Another World and good conversation. Thank you very much, Deirdre. I appreciate that as well. All those shows that I talked about were on in our house. My mother and my sister would watch them too, but then I got into them. So I know all these characters and watched, and some of them you can see on YouTube as well. And I think SoapNet used to have them when SoapNet, I've done acting as well. So, I looked at it from the professional point of view, but they were cool to watch. Absolutely. Such an interesting guest. Thanks, Stephen. Yes, absolutely. You guys are great with all these comments. And as you guys know, I'm a very interactive host. I like bringing all of you in. Joan says, thank you to Stephen for bringing in the stories. And thanks for all of these comments. You do a great job of it, Stephen. Toby, thank you, Deirdre. And Toby says, can't wait to see A Case of Blue. Fantastic. We love it. And Space Shark, yes, you can. If you go back and watch this episode again, Stephen talked about some of the other things he's working on as well. Congratulations on his amazing career. What's next after A Case of Blue? If you watch this again, and you'll be able to in the archives on our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV, you'll see he talked about some cool things that he's working on. Linda says, thank you, Stephen, for sharing your life and career with all of us. Really, really beautiful comments coming in here. And don't forget, you can comment afterwards on our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV, underneath this episode. Feel free. And Lisa Rodrigo says she misses SoapNet. I know they were bought out and became another channel, right? Amy says, Jim, you are top notch. Thank you very much. Is there a way to print these out? Or as my father has always said with his Irish humor, anytime anybody says something kind, please ask them to put that in writing and address it management. Christine Clifton in North Carolina says, thanks, Jim and Stephen, for an interesting conversation. It was nice of him to share with us on his anniversary too. He mentioned it was his anniversary, so we wanted to have the graphic up and bring you guys in, because I know you would want to, celebrate that. And but for him, he could have said, I'm not available tonight. But he's a class act, and he's, the movie's out now. So fun going down memory lane, plus hearing his new projects. Stephen is so talented and kind. Yes. Yes. And so now, if we can say hi to Stephen, if we happen to see him walking down the street, versus the character name, right? Exactly. And he's the kind of guy that would say hi back. Yes. Dwight says, Stephen sharing his Another World stories was the best. I knew, we were talking about the movie, of course, which is out now, but I knew you guys wanted to hear about some of the other incredible things that Stephen's been a part of, and you guys are enjoying that. There is A Case of Blue, and yes, of course, some of you collected this, and I know that you've got your collection. I used to collect TV guides, actually, years ago, but I know you guys collected the soap opera digests and soap opera updates as well. But we're very excited. We'll tell you a little bit more again about how you can see Stephen and the entire cast. Just go to acaseofblue.com. That's www.acaseofblue.com. And just look at the screen right there. See how it's spelled? the letter A, and then CASE, a case of blue, and then .com. You'll get all the information as far as how you will be able to watch it and avail yourself of the opportunity. And again, it's a wonderful Dane Grant production. And the movie is written and directed by Student Academy Award winner Dana H. Glazer, and executive produced by Scott Rosenfeld, who Home Alone, Mystic Pizza, Critical Thinking, yes. Co-producers Suzanne Ortiz Curry, Equity, Killian, and the Comeback Kids, and Dottie Fucito, Bad Parents, and it's distributed by 1091 Media. Just so you know, too, of course, there's the film festivals and awards festivals. This film, Case of Blue, has won awards at the Chelsea, New York City Film Festival, and the Imagine This Women's International Film Festival, also in New York City. And here's a quote from Dana Glazer, who says, "This was a deeply personal film that I made as a way of communicating with my dad about some challenging things he was going through at the time, and I hope audiences find it both entertaining and redemptive." Scott Rosenfeld says, the executive producer, states, "When Dana Glazer sent me the script, I was immediately taken with the story of Dana's unique vision for it. And I thought it embodied all the elements of a major film that could be made as an indie, because this is an indie film, which again, there are so many fabulous indie films, I tell you. And this is one of them. I was happy to work alongside Dana throughout, and the proof is on the screen." So it became available October 19th. It's on most streaming platforms, including Amazon. I'll say it slowly. Amazon, iTunes, Apple TV, Google Play, Xbox, VUDU or Vudu, in-demand movies, Verizon, Ubiquity. Did you ever hear of that one? You're probably learning some new words tonight. Years ago, I never even thought I would say the word Google, but we do. And Dish, with more coming. So Amazon, iTunes, Apple TV, Google Play, Xbox, Vudu or VUDU for the spelling, in-demand movies, Verizon, Ubiquity, Dish, and more coming. And again, there's also a Facebook page for the film. That's A Case of Blue. That is on Facebook. That is their page. You can type that in and you'll see it. And again, really fantastic. So we're so happy to have an opportunity to have Stephen tell us more about all of this. And he really is a class act. We thank him very much for joining us and spending this amount of time with us too. And George Burns was very happy. Stephen Schnetzer, class act, great guy. And we love all of you as well. We'll be back tomorrow, of course. And now you want Deidre Hall on the show? You never know. On the Jim Masters show at some point to talk about revisiting the possession days. Yes, I remember when she was possessed on Days of Our Lives. That was really amazing. Yes, Jim, the city awaits. And good stuff. Yes, absolutely. Dwight. Yes. I like that as well. Sherry Larson says, "Thank you, Jim, for another fantastic evening and all you do. Thank you very much. You have the Another World anniversary book, Memories of Another World 2 as well. Yeah, all for you here on the show. Gang, we're going to get ready to wrap up. This was fantastic. We love all of you. Don't forget to follow us on our YouTube channel. We have a lot of incredible episodes with great guests from all walks of life right here on Jim Masters TV. Subscribe. We would love that. And also, as we always say when we wrap up our shows, a couple of cool things that we do. We say, don't forget to smile. Don't forget to share the levity. And again, we just happened to stumble on that when I said light, love, and levity too fast. Don't forget to find your Zen place. Of course, my number one Zen place is with loving family and friends. As you guys know, I love cycling and tennis and music and writing. And of course, my work in television, radio, stage, and film over the years, I love as well. That's another Zen place for me. And The ocean. Yes, growing up here in the New York, New Jersey, Connecticut area on Long Island. And of course, we're here on the southern New England coast between New York and Boston. Love that ocean, swimming, surfing, boogie boarding, sailing, and just being near it. It's very balancing. And I love, we're just a couple blocks from it right now. And our YouTube channel, again, is a channel dedicated to entertaining, informing, educating, and inspiring. It is Jim Masters TV. So help us grow and share that. Love it, gang. Thanks to everybody. Thanks for all the great comments. Thanks to our friends at A Case of Blue. Thanks to Stephen, and thanks to all of you. Merlin says, love you back, Jim. Thank you very much. And right back at you, Merlin in Ontario, Canada. Sherry in Kansas. Good night, all. Sleep well, and hugs. You too as well. Kathleen in New York says, thanks, Jim. Have a great night. Good night, all, and hugs. And we love it. And this is going to be fantastic. Yeah, we have a Halloween show we're going to do on coming up as well. Yes, we're going to do that on Saturday. And we've got amazing guests coming up. Don't forget, we had the Pointer Sisters on recently, Anita and Ruth. Oh my God, the laughs that we had, incredible. It was really fantastic. You can see that in the archives as well. Dan White, who stars as Elijah Crow on General Hospital. He's also been on Law & Order and so much more. Great guy. He's joining us on November 16th. And tomorrow night, Tor Hyams and Lisa St. Lou, the incredible music and comedy dynamic duo, Grammy nominated, and so much more. They're going to be with us tomorrow night live from New York City. On Saturday, we've got a special afternoon edition, 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific. The incomparable star of stage, television, film, Susan Mosher. She was in Hairspray on Broadway. She was in Beverly Hills 90210 and so much more. She's going to be with us on Saturday. And that's just the short list, gang. God bless Lovely Family from Amy. We love it. And you guys. Oh, Glenn Scarpelli. Yes, my buddy Glenn Scarpelli, who was on not that long ago from One Day at a Time. He and I talk often. He's a lovity. He loves our series. He sends his love as well. He's out there in Sedona, Arizona. He started a new travel show on, I think, the TV station that he owns in Arizona. We'll have Glenn back as well. Gang, thanks for being with us. We love all of you. You're the best. You're watching the Jim Masters Show live, entertainment lifestyle talk show series. This is your host, Jim Masters. Thank you for your time this time. Till next time, we'll see you on the next episode. Till then, for all of us, be well, take care, be good to one another, and thanks for being with us on this episode. Cheers.